Welcome, foolish mortals, to the spookiest time of year. We're going to rank Disney's Halloween movies from the worst to the best. Hey friends, welcome to the Disney Pastor. I'm your host Tim, and I talk all things Disney, which includes Halloween Disney movies. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. This list in particular is only theatrical / Disney Plus original movies. So if you're wondering where Halloween Town is, or Muppets Haunted Mansion, Werewolf by Night, those are not included on this list because Disney Channel original movie, TV, Disney Plus specials are not included on this list. Without further ado, let's dive into this list. At the bottom of the list is Frankenweenie, and it's okay. Now, of course, there was a TV special done many years prior, but Tim Burton, who is going to show up later on this list, went through and decided, I'm going to make a claymation-styled movie, which he's done before multiple times now. And he chose to do this one based off, of course, Frankenweenie, the idea of a kid's dog who died, and this kid is like super smart, so then he like resurrects his dog Frankenstein style. The town goes into a frenzy, and it's okay. It's not special, and it really, I don't know. There's so much that could have been done, I think, differently. It's okay. It just wasn't anything memorable. Coming in at number 6 is The Haunted Mansion, not to be confused with Haunted Mansion, which released this year. This one was the one released 20 years prior, back in 2003, starring Eddie Murphy. What can I say about this film?
It is my professional opinion that now is the time to panic.
While Eddie Murphy, I think, does well here, Mushu is still my favorite portrayal in a Disney movie by him, but that's not what we're here to talk about. What we are here to talk about is the lack of references to the actual attraction, the story that comes out of complete left field. It doesn't really fit. The one benefit compared to the most recent Haunted Mansion is it does explicitly have grim grinning ghosts contained in the film, but other than that, it's a very disappointing ride adaptation because, to be frank, there's no real references. There's nothing that would deem this to be a Haunted Mansion film other than essentially the title. Plus, they tried to like mash the Disney World and Disneyland versions of the Haunted Mansion into one thing, and it just doesn't work here. It's not good. If you enjoy this film, more power to you, but watching it this past year was not. It just did not work. Coming in at number 5 is Hocus Pocus 2. Now, Hocus Pocus has really gained a ton of popularity, and so Disney decided to capitalize and make a sequel. And in fact, they're working on a threequel, apparently. What I will say is, I do enjoy seeing these characters again, specifically the Sanderson sisters. It's fun anytime they're on screen. They do a fantastic job, so that's no surprise here. I love the first like kind of 7 to 10-ish minutes with like the whole backstory of them. Side note, I still would really love a prequel series on Disney Plus of just that, because the casting for it was really, really well done, and I think it would be awesome. Coming back to the sequel though, it's okay. I mean, it has none of the original cast of characters except the Sanderson sisters and of course Billy, but other than that, like how they come back is a little weird in my opinion. But like I said earlier, I enjoy seeing the Sanderson sisters again, and so that somewhat makes up for it. But other than that, it's an okay attempt at a sequel of a cult classic. Coming in at number 4 is The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Now, the only reason this movie is on this list is because of Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. Otherwise, this would not be on the list. I enjoy The Adventures of Mr. Toad, all that whole section. It's fun, it's cool. The ride fits a little bit more in line with Halloween-esque because where you end up at the end of the ride. What the heck? Get it? Now, I think Mr. Toad is better. I do enjoy the story of Ichabod Crane. And of course, the Headless Horseman is iconic, but also an iconic piece with the Headless Horseman being featured at the start of both Oogie Boogie Bash and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party for both of their parades. So because of that, it's fun and I enjoy it for the most part. And I enjoy a lot of classic Disney animated movies, and this is definitely a part of the classic Disney animated movies. So coming in number 3 is Hocus Pocus. This one is a absolute cult classic. What I said with the sequel, which came first on the list, I enjoy seeing the Sanderson sisters. They're iconic. You just fall in love with them instantly. They're transported into the future, so everything's extremely weird for them. I like that idea. It's very unique and clever. It being set in Salem with all the history that is a part of that town is done quite well, and I really enjoy just the atmosphere. It really is a true Halloween movie, and that's one of the cool things about it. Some of it is a little bit kind of dated, not in a bad sense, but it is kind of noticeable, particularly with the bullies. But it is a good capsule of kind of that era at the same time. Like I said earlier, this is absolutely a cult classic, and because of that, it's going to be well loved by a bunch of people. And it is, and I enjoy it for the most part, but I wouldn't say it is 100% my go-to. And also on top of that, it is family friendly, so there is that. Because a lot of Halloween movies are like really spooky and dark for no reason whatsoever. So have some family friendly kind of Halloween content is great. Coming in at number 2 is Haunted Mansion, the most recent adaptation of the classic Disney World and Disneyland attraction. Oh my, is this one miles better. So much better. I reviewed it a little bit earlier on this year, and I thoroughly enjoyed it for the most part. I actually rewatched it maybe a week or so ago, and I still enjoy it. The characters are fun. I love the amount of references that are in this. Granted, I am a Disney Parks fan through and through, so the references are where you get me. It's done so much better than the original one in 2003 because it got the references right. The story, I think, overall is a lot better. It's nothing mind-blowing or spectacular, but it is done better than the original. It's more in line. In fact, it is 100% in line with the actual attraction. I do think it leans more into the spooky side of things than it does the funny side of things when it comes to the attraction. And of course, they are missing Grim Grinning Ghost being a part of the actual movie itself. And I would have loved to see Constance Hatchaway get a bigger role. But other than that, this is a faithful adaptation of the attraction. I enjoy it. It's a little dark and spooky compared to pretty much everything else on this list, but I enjoy it. I had a blast with this one, and it was fun. But coming in at number 1 is, in my opinion, the Halloween staple of the year, Nightmare Before Christmas, the Tim Burton cult classic. There's so many cult classics apparently on the Halloween list, which is great. I love this movie. The more I watch it, the more I enjoy it. Of course, I watched it again a few weeks ago, and it was fun. The music is great. The characters are fun. Jack Skellington's iconic. Oogie Boogie is fantastic. One of my favorite Disney villains. And so there's a lot to like with this movie. On top of that, in my opinion, it helps go from the Halloween season into, of course, the most wonderful time of the year, Christmas. And so it blends those two ideas together, making a seamless transition. I really like the story. There's rumors right now that they may be doing another Nightmare Before Christmas movie, specifically a prequel. I would love to see that. The world building that was done in this movie, it was done very, very well. There's a lot to love about this one, and it's done in a style that's unique, and it fits with the story and characters. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's easily my go-to Halloween movie for sure. And that's it. There's only 7 of them. Like I said, there's no Disney Channel original movies or specials or Disney Plus specials or TV specials. I know there's a bunch of them out there, and we'll get to probably a mega list at some point, but I wanted to give you guys this because it is spooky season, and that begs the question, what is your go-to Halloween Disney movie? I would love to hear it, or maybe just your go-to Halloween movie. I'd love to hear it down in the comments below. Love to discuss with you guys there. This is just my list, and so it's just my opinion, so I'd love to know yours. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Helps you know what you like, what you don't like, and if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified for more videos just like this one. I'll see you all in the next video. Happy Halloween. Goodbye.